fire, fire, fire. An ongoing... Oh. If a woman discovers that the child she gave birth to for her husband does not belong to her husband, she will still love that child regardless. But as soon as a man DNA that he's not the biological father of the child his wife gave birth to him, he starts withdrawing his love. Which means that he never really loved the child, but because he thought the child was his. That's why I tell women, before you say I do, ask him, when we get married, do you promise to love any child that comes out of my womb? Okay, first of all, let me unpack this. This is a lot to unpack here. This has got to be a rage post, surely, right? Off of Instagram? I think that there's nothing more respectful for a man to take care of a child that is not his blood. I have the perfect example. My auntie was a scientist a long time ago in Russia, and she was supposed to be working on in the nuclear labs and stuff, like working with that kind of thing to work on like cancer treatments and stuff. Her husband she met in university, they worked with nuclear materials. He got cancer while she was having their first child. That's my cousin. He died of cancer, and they always suspected it was because he was involved with those, you know, those chemicals and stuff. He passed away before my first cousin, my male cousin, even knew that he had a dad. Like, he doesn't remember him at all. She remarried within about a year or two to a wonderful man. My uncle. I never met my uncle, my first uncle. That was before I was born. They kept it a secret that he had another sister. They always thought they were blood relatives, which they are because they're half sister and brother. But my uncle took care of them, both of them, like they were their own. And I didn't even know because my parents didn't think it was important for me to know that they were half brother and sister. But my first uncle, he died of brain cancer. Or throat cancer. I can't remember which one. It was a long time ago. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He took care of them because he loved the child, even if it was someone else's. It's not like she cheated on him and had a baby, or like... It's such a weird thing to expect of a man to be like, oh yeah, I'm totally okay with you having a baby from another man if, you know, like this implies cheating, essentially, that you should be okay with cheating. Yeah, this is about cucking, essentially. And I find it so deplorable and such horrendous, like, bait to, like, say to the public, yeah, if I'm carrying someone else's child, you shouldn't be able to leave me. If you don't want to be with a woman that has a child that is not your blood, that is your prerogative. Just don't lead them on and, like, be with them and then, like, you know, slap them in the face and say, yeah, I'd never actually loved your child. I find that's also really, really bad. Yo, Yuda, thank you so much. Didn't a child born from an affair is a slap in the face of the father who thought the child would be his, and his mind is a sign that the woman does not respect or love him. Exactly. If he loves the child and raises it anyway, that is a good man, but it's completely understandable to feel betrayed. Well, it's not only that. What if she knows that... I just don't know how you can carry a baby and, like, know that... Because there are obviously outlier circumstances of, like, a woman, even then, I don't know. Like, if you're with a man and then you get pregnant and then, like, you dump him and then, like, 3 months later, maybe you get with a guy and you're like, you don't know if it's his? Does that make sense? Like, it's just so weird to me to think, like, hey, maybe we should have a talk about, like, maybe the child isn't actually his. And if he leaves, then he leaves. Like, that's not not cheating either, because it's like you had sex with another man before you got together, but oopsie doopsie, I'm pregnant, and then they stay. I don't think that's cheating because it's before. But at the same time, I wouldn't blame the man for leaving if they said, hey, I'm sorry, I don't want to take care of another man's child. That's circumstantial. My anecdotal story is very personal, and I find it very telling of my uncle's character that he was willing to raise a child that is not his blood, like, at all, and pretend up until I think the ages of like 15 or 16 when they sat them down and said, hey, you're actually half brother and sister. I think that shows that my uncle is very caring and loved. By the way, it's a really big deal to be like a single mother back then, a long time ago. So like he took her in and took care of her because you couldn't really like, you know, you couldn't take care of like 2 kids or even like a newborn infant and a job. It's difficult. But the only reason I bring it up, it's like, you don't have to take care of them if you don't want to. Someone gotta take care of these kids. You got arms and legs, get a job! Why do I always fucking read shit like that, man? As screwed up as this post is, it's not entirely wrong. I vowed to love my wife until the end. There are no qualifying statements around that vow. If she were to be unfaithful, I would have to continue to love her. If she had a child that wasn't mine, that same logic would apply. I don't know if I can agree. If it's cheating, then I feel like I would leave that person. And again, that dynamic doesn't really work both ways because I try to be neutral, or at least respectably neutral, to like it doesn't happen when a man cheats. If a man, but a woman, it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man has a baby with another woman. The woman isn't expected to take care of the man's for the cheating woman's baby that is her husband or her boyfriend's. It doesn't work. Like, that doesn't happen. Whereas the opposite does. Yeah, sorry, my side piece got pregnant. Can you take care of my baby? Like, go fuck yourself. Men are biologically programmed to cheat. No, they're not, man. We're not that much of animals, man. I know what you're trying to imply, too. You're like, yeah, I gotta spread my seed so I can have many babies. It's like, we're humans, man. We're not fucking archaic fucking monkeys that just came out of the water, you know? Spread your seed! Girls, is this true? I only friend-zoned you because you're too perfect. I'm sorry, what? Excuse me? You made me throw up in my mouth. What? That makes no sense. You'd make a better husband than boyfriend, and I wanted to keep you around until the time was right. If we ever dated and broke up, I'd hate to lose you forever. All girls keep the good ones around until the time is right. Oh. Oh, why? That just means that... You guys, you know what this means? It means that they wanted to ride around... They wanted to ride around the town until they felt like settling down, essentially. Yeah, the caca carousel. What was it called? That girl that slept with 100 men? The machine? The conveyor belt of cock. That was it, thank you. I was like trying to think like machine of caca. The conveyor belt of cock. I don't know, man. This is why I don't date. This is embarrassing. To read this kind of thing and then think like a lot of women unironically think like this. Yeah, I just wanna, you know, simmer down and settle down at my own pace. And again, it would be so insulting to say that to a girl. It's like, well, you know, you're like a plain Jane and like you're perfect and you cook and clean and maybe you have a really good job and I don't want to lose you if you find someone else better. That's what they're implying, ultimately. They're saying, if you found someone better than me, I would never be able to forgive myself. So I'd rather, like, friend zone you and never get hurt because my ego can't take it. This is egoism, essentially. So when Alana hits the wall, she's just gonna kidnap the chatter who donated the most. I will not be doing that. No, thank you. Yep. Throwing a Vienna sausage in a blimp hanger. I believe the saying is of throwing a hot dog down a corridor. Again, I just don't understand why people, or how people manage to have mental gymnastics like this. Wouldn't it feel weird knowing that someone said this to you unironically? Like, I understand people being stupid under the age of 18. Like, your frontal lobe isn't developed yet, and you don't have a lot of empathy in your brain because you're still kind of like young adult and you don't understand how the world works, and maybe you didn't have a lot of relationships. At least they're being honest. True. Now the guy can run. I hope this isn't real, but chances are it's probably happened. Because there are so many men that are like, oh my god, I met this girl, and then like she told me that we got friend zoned because she thought I could like better myself and she could just, you know, keep going on forever with other men. But ultimately she still fucking liked me. She just wasn't, like, ready to, like, settle down with me. Man, we got a lot of hating women fucking tweets, huh? I am not beating the allegations of hating women. Plug in your freaking phone! Holy shit! Bro, that battery? Yeah, that's what I pointed out instantly. It was just 2 minutes? Okay. What else do you expect me to do? I didn't have sex with the dude. I didn't do shit wrong. Okay. Lasted, what, 2 minutes, and I asked him to stop. I went to the bathroom texting my friend about how much I miss you and then asked the dude to leave. But you don't know that because you don't ask, you don't communicate, you just come at me like I'm some horrible person. Not only did you not, like... Again, there are stages to cheating, bro. Why? Why do we do this, man? Why do we play these games of like, oh, it's not cheating, I ultimately really love you? I'm so thankful I've never had to go through this once in my life. Of like someone saying, oh, it's only like, we only made out and like fucking groped each other for 2 minutes. I'm assuming that they had sex, but let's be realistic. I needed to find myself. I needed to go to Italy and get some pee-pee. Situationship? Yeah, that's a lot of excuses that people try to play around with because they don't want to emotionally attach to someone and commit to them. Was there a stopwatch present? Wait, how does she know it was 2 minutes? That's actually a really good point. Because, like, let's assume that the sex is enjoyable. Let's, like, just say that. Like, assuming. If you're enjoying yourself, 2 minutes does not feel like 2 minutes, right? Like, if you play a video game for 2 minutes, it's not actually 2, it's like 5 or 10. Yeah, and what about kissing and, like, fucking groping? Is it, like, 2 minutes, like, insertion? Yeah, like, think about it. 2 minutes of being a hoe. Well, again, she might be just lying, man. And by might be, probably lying, because she seems really defensive. Ready, set, go, 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 go. I'm gonna time it right now. Put your penis in. Put your penis in. I gotta time this so that I can say to my boyfriend or situationship or whatever that it was only 2 minutes. It wasn't even that bad. By the way, you can get pregnant in 2 minutes. You can get pregnant from the pre. They taught that in high school. Yep. You can get pregnant from that. The pre-cum! Got taught that at school when I was in high school. All I need is 20 seconds. Let's go. That's impressive. That's impressive, chatter. Pre-cum baby is gonna be so dented. What? What is that supposed to mean? Is that every dented baby is a pre-cum baby? Guys, I can't talk about this with a straight face. You guys are fucking cooking me. No! Chat, remember? If it's under 2 minutes, it's not cheating. Go cheat on your wife right now and then tell her after you're done when she's texting you and saying how much of a piece of shit you are for cheating on her and throwing away your relationship that it was only 2 minutes. And then you texted your best friend saying how horrible you felt for cheating and that you missed them after you had sex. Just remember, it's only 2 minutes. Yep. Don't forget that. It's fine. What is this? Realistically, will they be able to make us marry and have kids? 4B movement. Okay, good start. 4B movement on Reddit. Excuse me. Anytime soon, would the US be able to make us penalizing single people helping traditional couples with kids is probably what they push for first. However, to them, that'll barely scratch the surface. They won't be where they want to be until women are all voiceless baby machines for them to own. But realistically, how soon could their dream be made into reality? How could one prepare if that time is soon? Get sterilized, then no matter what happens, no one can force you to become pregnant. I'm getting mine done in spring. I'm Canadian, I just don't like the conservative writing on the wall that's happening globally. Chat, doing irreversible surgeries to sterilize yourself or doing anything that like removes your ability to reproduce down the line is consequential and matters a lot. Does that mean you just can't control yourself and you can't like ask a guy to wear a condom or something? Or if you really want to like have an abortion? Again, it's, I don't know, like a lot of women I've heard that get sterilized or they are not able to have babies and they don't care like 10 years ago, once they hit a certain stage, fighting your biological urges is insanely tough. There was a woman that my mom was friends with from school who basically never had kids. And one day I sat down with her and she's like 50 or 60 years old. And she said like, yeah, it's really nice having like money and stuff. And we can go on vacations whenever we want to. But during my 30s and 40s, I was relatively miserable because I was fighting my biological urge to have a baby. And we just couldn't have one. And it was... And at the same time, if you really love someone, if you put it into the male perspective... At this very same time, a man can also feel emasculated. can feel very emasculated. She must be afraid because of what China did. No, the 4B movement is because the 4B movement has surged in America because of the new president-elect. Yeah, it's not because of the government, it's because of Orange Man bad, yeah. Again, I wouldn't... I don't understand it. It's your choice. You're kind of crazy for that, but... yeah. Again, nobody's forcing them to, like, do the 4B movement. If you want to do it, go ahead. I don't know. By the way, why are you so concerned with American politics if you're Canadian? I don't know if it's logical for you to be that into a movement that is starting in America because of something that happened in America and you're Canadian. It's like the people that run across to Canada over the border and start talking about how American politics still affect them. It's like, no, it doesn't, man. You live in a different country. Can you, like, shut the fuck up? You left the country because you were unhappy because of the politics, but then you still won't shut the fuck up about it. Like, Jesus, dude.
Oh, yeah. Fire, 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 fire. Oh, yeah.